All right, hi guys, welcome to video 2, and we're going to be talking about what is ketosis in terms of why we actually want to burn fat, which creates ketones in our body, hence the name ketosis, versus what we're used to doing, which is using glucose and burning glucose as fuel, which is sugar, right? Starch in our body. So first and foremost, you may already know that when we put starches and sugars in our body, food, in the form of carbohydrate, what happens is that gets broken down into glucose molecules, and then insulin is released from the pancreas, which is a hormone that tells our cells to open up and accept that form of energy, that glucose energy, that sugar energy, into a cell. Okay, now if you're really super savvy with, say, like diabetes or any other metabolic condition, you might know that things really start to run off the rails there with that very simple process. When we're consuming lots of carbohydrates, we develop something called insulin resistance, which screws up that process. Then we gain a lot of weight. It's really difficult for our body's processes to work correctly, right? Because now our hormones are involved and it gets really crazy. So our body can actually work off of something else, not just glucose. It can actually work off of something called ketones. And that's the premise of this entire lifestyle, is there's actually an alternative. And not only is it an alternative, but it's actually supposed to be a state that our body uses way more often than we do in the modern world. It's just that we don't experience feast or famine anymore, so we have carbohydrates literally everywhere, right? And so we're never in a starvation mode, we never go that long without eating, and so our bodies never switch over to that other fuel source using ketones, being a fat burner. So with a healthy ketogenic lifestyle, what you're doing is you're inducing that ketogenic effect on your body by starving out all of the carbohydrate available in your system, all the available glucose. And then once you've starved it all out, your body naturally switches to using your own fat on your body as fuel, which is amazing, right? Now you might say, oh my gosh, I've done low carb before, it was miserable, it was terrible, but, you know, Atkins back in the day, you might have PTSD about it. And so here's the deal: when you do low carb but don't ever actually switch your body into ketosis, or being fat adapted, which basically just means your body is understanding that its default fuel source is fat. If you don't get to that point, then low carb is really difficult, because your body is just like, hey, I'm a glucose burner over here. I need more glucose, or I'm starving. And that's when you go into like that slowed metabolism starvation mode that everyone talks about, okay? But think about it. If ketones are energy and glucose are energy, right? They're just two forms of energy that our body can use very efficiently. And ketones come from fat, and our bodies are covered in plenty of it for most of us, right? And there are plenty of people who do ketosis who don't have any fat to lose, and that's totally fine, or weight loss to lose, that's fine. But a lot of us do, right? There's energy. All this is energy in our body, extra, you know, for the ladies on the hips, the thighs, all that good stuff is just energy that was never used. So it's literally stored up, and it's just begging you to switch your body into a fat burning mode so we can finally use it. So that's all that a glucose and a fat burner, the difference in how our body uses those two energy sources. What we want to do is, right now, if you're a sugar burner, you're not using any ketones, right? You're not burning any fat. What we want to do is we just want to switch it. You don't want it like here, you want it like a full switch. You want your body switched off of recognizing sugar as an energy source and into ketosis instead. So what are the other benefits? Obviously, you know, you're gonna lose weight because your body's using its own fat as a fuel source. So obviously it's a lot easier to lose weight that way. But then there's a million other benefits. And why is everyone in the world talking about ketosis right now? Well, first of all, when you're messing with sugar and insulin, what goes up must come down. So your blood sugar goes up, your blood sugar comes back down. You have a big heavy carb meal, you eat a bagel, well, you gotta come back down. And when things come back down, you start to crave sugar again, you are moody, That's when you really pack the pounds on, when your blood sugar is doing this all day. it's harder to focus, and it's harder to go to work, and we do this endless cycle of, oh, I finally ate carbohydrates, but now I'm tired, so I'm gonna have a bunch of caffeine, and then I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna need more sugar later, and the whole bit, right? It's very unsteady. It's kind of like you're dealing with this willpower struggle all day, because you shouldn't be eating carbs all day, but you're like addicted. So it's kind of like this emotional roller coaster, and an energetic roller coaster, and a productivity, cognitive roller coaster that's just like so unnecessary. Okay, so when you're using fat as fuel, your body is really slowly burning it, and it's always here when your body needs it. So it's like totally flatlined. You don't have to worry about the ups and the downs and all that stuff. It's just here when your body needs it, and it's not dependent on what you're putting in your mouth. Now, that said, you want to have a diet that's high in fat, so that your body actually is running off of both dietary fat, what you're putting in your mouth, and the fat in adipose tissue, right? That's our fat stores. So you want your body functioning off of both of those fat sources, our own and dietary. But it's just so much of it. First of all, it takes your body a long time to break down fats and proteins, which is another reason why it's so good for moods and productivity, whereas carbohydrates start breaking down like almost as soon as you put them in your mouth. So that's why you get like that quick hit of up and down. So cognitively, it's impressive. Weight loss. And then the third thing I want to mention today why ketosis is so amazing is inflammation. And I've been in health and wellness now for about 5 years, longer if you just include my own personal journey. But what I love about ketosis and why it's so impressive is disease prevention and wellness overall. How it can heal people's guts when they have, like IBS, or if they're having insulin resistance and it's becoming like pre-diabetic, if you have any kind of cancer issues in your family, if you have like aches and pains and inflammation in the joints and all that stuff, ketosis can be an amazing therapeutic tool for that. And the reason is this: insulin is an anabolic hormone, meaning it helps cell grow, right? So that's why they grow fat cells. They tell cells to pack more energy into those cells, okay? But it's also incredibly inflammatory as well. So when you cut off the insulin response, that's go, 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 go all day long, right? When we're sugar burners, when we're relying on carbohydrates and glucose, when you shut that off, your body has a huge ability to heal itself. It's actually fascinating. I myself have a hormone or an endocrine issue, and so really the more I learn about it, if you have one hormone off in your body, they're basically all off in your body. It's like a house of cards. And so when my insulin's going, I can't ever get to the hormones that need to heal because it's just so loud and noisy with this constant insulin going all day. When that's shut off, when I'm fat adapted, when I'm consuming fat and my insulin's not doing anything, and I even measure it just to see, sometimes my glucose readings in the high 60s, which I love to see. 70s is great. Anything getting towards 90 or 100 or over 100, it's just gonna be really difficult to feel well. It's gonna be difficult to lose weight, and then you're getting up into those like pre-diabetic numbers, okay? So I love how low my glucose numbers are, because what's that telling me is that my body has made the full switch, and it's very efficiently using fat as fuel. So that's so awesome. So I love it for I love ketosis for weight loss. I love fat burning for fat loss, right? I love fat burning for the cognitive benefits, and I love it for lowering inflammation. So that's my little tidbit for today. So that's why we all want to be fat burners, at least for a couple of times a year. More and more folks are coming out and saying, even if people dipped into ketosis just a couple of times a year, we would see chronic illness in this country plummet. And I'm really excited to have people learn this as a savvy tool for themselves to stay well all year round. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.